Is it Fuks or Fuks?
Fuks.
See, I thought it was Allan.
I bet that's like the first thing someone asks you all the time.
I get it.
Why is your name Fuks?
All right. So my parents came here from the former Soviet Union, right? And in the Soviet Union, in Ukraine, they're actually technically from Ukraine. I was telling what's your name again?
Doc Jud.
Doc Jud.
Doc Jud.
Doc Jud.
Yeah.
His name is literally on his shirt.
No, you don't.
Dude, he's from Russia. He can't read English.
Judson. Okay, now I see.
Have some respect for his culture.
I thought it said Hudson, so I wasn't sure. I thought he had like the name of the pain management company on it. I didn't know.
Judson Crosby sounds like an investment bank.
It sounds like a building. It doesn't sound like a person.
It's like the Hudson River with a J.
It's actually a good. Your dad picked that name, Judson?
I don't even know the story behind it, but I got to make something up.
You got some interesting numerology in your thing.
What do you mean?
There's perfect balance. It's 5 and then 6.
No, 6 and
6 and
7.
then
6 and 7.
He can't count so well.
I can't count.
He got
that
left
well.
back.
Yeah.
I knew there was one more than the other.
Hey, so
why is
welcome.
your name
Why
Fuks?
is my name Fuks? All right.
Why is your
my
name
parents,
Fuks?
So the name is Fuks, right? In America, they say Fuks. I don't know if you guys saw the most famous Fuks you guys have is in Barry. You ever see that show Barry?
Mm-mm. Oh yeah,
it's a great show. There's a character
the assassin
named Fuks.
Oh okay,
not the assassin, like the guy, the older guy, who works with him.
Yeah.
So Americans say Fuks. In Europe, they say Fuks. In Eastern Europe, they say Fuks. So my theory is that my dad pissed off the immigration guy when they were trying to figure out the spelling, and they should have gone with Fuchs. But my dad gets people really. I think I get some of this from my dad. I have to be conscious of it. He has a way of pissing people off. So I think the guy was like, you know what? Screw this asshole. It's gonna be Fuks. Good luck with that.
Oh, you think your dad pissed the guy off so much that he
Yeah.
cursed him with the name Fuks?
Yeah. Kind of like what's that movie where the gypsy shows up and she what was that movie? The Sam Raimi movie at the bank.
Who's Sam Raimi?
The movie director. You know what I'm
Anything
talking about?
notable like Spider-Man he's done?
Yeah, the Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He did.
Drag me to hell?
I swear to God, Sam Raimi.
I said
directed.
Spider-Man like a crazy
That's crazy. He said that. He took a stab in the dark. He directed the first 3 Spider-Man movies.
No, he didn't.
The Tobey Maguire.
Stop fucking
I
with
swear
me
to God,
right
the Tobey
now.
Maguire
Come
Spider-Man
on,
movie.
dude.
Dude, I swear to God. I'm telling
Natalie,
you.
can we look that up?
Drag
Natalie.
me to hell? Drag me to hell?
Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell?
That's the movie, yeah. With the gypsy curses the bank loan officer for not giving her a loan or something, right? And she eventually, I forget the plot, but so I feel like, it was like a gypsy curse almost.
Oh, he did do Spider-Man.
Yeah, I told you, man.
Holy shit. Oh, and The Evil Dead. That's the same guy.
Sam Raimi, yeah.
Oh,
a famous
shit.
director.
Dude, The Evil Dead is so campy, though. I didn't think the director was like a famous person.
Yeah.
The Evil Dead, like, I thought it was like directed by like a bad director.
No,
Who was the star in Evil
good. He's got
Dead?
his own style.
Who's the star in Evil Dead?
Who's that guy? He uses him all the time.
Bruce
Campbell.
Yeah,
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, so Bruce Campbell. Yeah, I've got some funny stories about him because he was on this show called Burn Notice that they used to film in Miami when I used to live there. Really super cool guy. I went to like a poker night at his house, and like a fight broke out because like when people are playing cards and they're like, oh, these are wild and these are wild. Well, all these people had like wild, like a royal flush, and they're like everybody put all their money in, and everybody had a royal flush, and dude, almost like a brawl broke out, and I'm like, later guys, I'm like, I'm out of here. Anyway, that's my story. So anyway, welcome to Close the Door Behind You. Special guest today, Allan Fuks. So I thought it was Allan Fuks because I knew that he has a podcast that's like AVN and it's all about sex. So I thought it was like a stage name, Allan Fuks, because there's a sexual connotation, but it's not Fuks, it's Fuchs. I apologize, Allan Fuks. Welcome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Of course, we have.
It would be great. It is kind of. I never even like thought about it. I don't know why, but I never thought about the connection. Like I wonder if my
You thought it was like a negative, like you thought, like, because when you were a kid, they were probably saying it in a negative manner.
Tortured.
I thought that it was like,
tortured,
I thought it was like in a cool way, like that was just like your stage name because there was a sexual connotation above it.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? I grew up on Howard Stern, and
Ew.
You don't like Howard?
No, I like Howard Stern. It's the fact that you grew up on it that's gross.
What are these Pokemon cards?
You could take them. You could take them.
They're stuck together. Nah. So my family changed my name from Fuks to Finn. They threw so when I was about 16 years old. So they after a while they're like, I guess this guy's being tortured. Maybe we should start thinking about doing something. So finally, when I was like 16 or 17, I think it was like more like 17, they finally changed our name. And the way they chose that last name, they put a whole bunch of names in a hat. They wrote down a bunch of names on pieces of paper, threw them all in a hat, all these ideas for names. And my dad, his only stipulation was that whatever we choose, it's got to start with the letter F. Because as a Greek, you may relate to this, he wears terrible jewelry.
What the fuck? What? Why the fuck am I catching strays in your story right now?
No,
what?
You know what I'm saying. But,
no, I don't.
Do you have any initials on your jewelry? Is what he's alluding to?
You think I have initials on my jewelry?
I'm not what you're wearing now, but your family.
My wife made these.
Your family never gave you anything with your name on it?
Oh, yeah. I have like a necklace with a C.
Yeah.
You got a signet ring with a C?
Yeah, I got a signet ring. Yeah, I had bracelets.
So that's valid.
Yeah.
You're valid. Continue.
I think we're similar. We're hairy. We're gold.
Yeah, but you're a Jew.
Yeah, that is a big problem.
That is a big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. Because I want passcodes to stuff too.
It's a little aggressive the way you said that. You put a little bit of anger on that.
No, it's just because I'm
but
angry.
He's just jealous that we control the weather. By the way, you know what? You've been good. Tomorrow I'm going to make it 80 degrees.
Dude, today was a nice day, actually. I'd be okay with 64
you've been
degrees.
such a good boy that Sunday it's going to be absolutely beautiful. You're welcome.
Do you fucks with that, Allan Fuks?
I fucks with it, man. Fucks with it hard.
Wait, so as a kid, you
Wait,
grew
so let me
up
tell you,
being
want to tell you the
bullied?
story?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the story really quick about the name. Okay, so they threw a bunch of names in a hat. So yeah, I was saying that my dad would wear the tackiest jewelry, and he had like this gold chain that he just bought, and it had a giant F, a big gold F. And I guess we were outside the return window, so he's like, the name's got to start with F. That's it. And and then my parents were like, well, we've experienced so much anti-Semitism. When they were in the Soviet Union, they're like, maybe we should, Allan could probably pass for somebody else, And they're like, well, he's pale, so what about
Make him
Irish?
Irish,
Yeah, make him Irish. So they wrote up a whole bunch of Irish names. They wrote up like Flanagan, Finnegan, Finn. They threw him in a hat, passed the hat around, and Finn got the most pulls. And I just randomly became Allan Finn. And I remember when I came back senior year of high school, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I won't be like tortured anymore. No one's going to mess. No one's going to make fun of me. I'm like, guys, guess what? You can't call me Fuks. You can't make fun of my last name anymore. I'm Allan Finn, baby. All right? Get it right. Allan Finn. They're like, nah, you're still going to be Fuks. They don't give a shit.
So
we don't care what your paperwork says. You're Fuks until we no longer see your face. That's it. You're Fuks. That's all right.
So is that how the stage name Allan Fuks came to be?
So I went back to Fuks. So like I went to therapy, which I recommend for everybody. And I went to therapy, and my therapist was like, "You feel like you've let the bullies win." And because I'm pretending to be Irish. I'm like in hiding. And I was like, you know what? It feels like anti-Semitism, I think it's gone.
It just can't.
And I was like, I feel safe.
It just
I'll go back
it just
to
reared
Fuks.
its ugly head last year.
So no, I just got that the bully thing got in my head, and I was like,
you were bullied relentlessly as a kid.
Oh, it was so bad.
In the Bronx? Is that where you grew up?
South Bronx.
South Bronx.
Because back then when you left the Soviet Union, they had checkpoints. The purpose of the checkpoints is to take all the money they could. If they could take the shirt off your back, the pants off your leg, like anything they could take before they send you into America, you literally leave the country with nothing.
How old were you?
Absolutely nothing. I was a baby. My parents, so they couldn't come straight to America. Back then, you had to go this roundabout way. So they went through Belgium. That was one of the countries. My mom was already pregnant with me, and I popped in Belgium.
Okay.
So I'm a citizen. One of the shittiest.
Yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Belgium is a great place, dude.
No, it's not.
You talking shit about Belgium, bro?
Shit about, come at me, Belgium. Come on.
No,
I'm not afraid of you.
No, we understand the true power
You've lost
you guys
every
hold.
war.
No, please.
Germany
we know
conquered you in
secret.
like an hour.
What do they have good
right
in Belgium? They got beer and chocolate.
Waffles.
The chocolate's a little much, guys. Come on.
Waffles, though?
The waffles are shit.
Waffles are shit.
I'll take a diner waffle over a Belgian any day.
No,
Any day. What are you
you're
talking about?
Insane. That's insane.
They suck.
No.
What do you shouldn't buy. You shouldn't be able to buy a waffle in a plastic bag in some fucking like it's just been like sitting there in a bin. That's not real food.
The Belgian waffles?
It sucks.
No, you gotta get like real home cooked Belgian waffles.
Well, it's dense. It's
Yeah.
got way too much sugar in it.
Yeah, it's great.
No, I like a nice soft warm waffle.
It's good.
I'll take a Holiday Inn waffle over Belgian.
Dude, you're honestly, look, I'm not saying that I said this, and I'm not saying that everyone says this, but there is speculation that Allan is a vampire, and you are not helping with that case, and now we are very concerned.
Yeah, dude, it's you know what it is.
Belgian waffles?
I'm
You don't like
jealous.
Belgian waffles?
I'm jealous of your beard.
Your beard is way better than mine.
No, this is not a good beard because I don't grow hair on the sides like I want to, so it makes me. I talk about this in my act sometimes. Like I look like a fucking vampire magician.
Yeah.
You know, I look like this is not like I want hair over here. I look
Did
like
you have a transfer?
like a '90s soap opera star.
We can
you know?
do a graft. We
Yeah,
could
I
take
would
maybe
love a
like
graft.
some,
I need the hair a little bit higher.
if you
Like,
go to
this is
Turkey, they'll take
too-
it off your chest and stick it on your face.
I've thought about going to Turkey for like some work, you know.
Yeah,
But
I'll
they're
send you
like,
some-
there's
my
always like a
boys in Florida.
revolution.
No, you don't want to go there. You want to go to Florida.
Yeah,
That's where
it's more expensive.
that's where our people get good
okay.
work done.
All right, hook
Can
me up,
I
dude.
get
Yeah.
to opt in also? I want good work.
What would you get done?
I want so Judson has a doctor friend who's supposed to give me some laser treatment if that works. Which
That's for his penis, though.
yeah,
You're talking about the hair?
You trying to polish?
yeah, my
Are you talking about your hair? Laser? I
Yeah.
told you about. Oh, Doonan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Wait,
he
laser
would
hair
do-
removal?
We'll do PRP.
Wait, laser hair
first.
removal?
No.
Because
No,
I've had
it's a
laser hair.
laser
I've had
for your
laser.
head that it's like.
Can you
know.
use a laser on your asshole, or you
I
have
have.
to shave it?
I've used a laser on my asshole and on my dick.
Dude, I don't understand why you would ever want little nubs of hair in your ass area. Like, I would definitely way rather just have a hairy ass.
No, that's like a vestige from like early Homo sapiens. You know, that's like when we had to survive in the wild in the winter.
Yeah.
you
I
know?
once went to these Russians to get the leather changed in my car, and the guy kept telling me about how he had to buy a laser, and I'm like, why do you have to use a laser to put the leather? And I'm like, oh, he's trying to say leather, but he's pronouncing it laser.
Oh, they can't say th. Th is z.
Who is
TH
this
is
that
Z.
can't
He's got
say
like
TH?
down in Florida. I had some leather that needed to be reupholstered in
Leather.
my car, and so I went to these Russians who had an upholstery shop, and they're like, "Yeah, we need to buy the laser and blah blah," and I'm like, "How do you? I thought you just sew it on there." They're like, "Yeah."
Is
I'm
that
like,
your
"Well, why do you-"
Russian accent?
I go, "Why do you? Yeah, why do you have to use a laser?" And they're like, "No, we buy the laser," and I'm like, why? And then I'm like, I realized, oh, they were just pronouncing the leather laser.
Oh my god. How do you pronounce it? Leather or laser?
How the Russians say it?
Yeah, like do
Or
it in
you
a
say-
Russian accent if you were talking.
They probably
like
say
a-
leather.
That sounds like laser
Yeah.
for sure.
Like they can't say birthday, they say beers
I get
day.
the
Yeah,
laser.
birthday.
Beers day.
I have to get red laser.
Dude, Russian women are scary though.
Yeah.
Russian women are frightening.
Have you dated a lot of Russian women? You must have.
I dated
lot of
not
Ukrainians?
too many. Not too many. Yeah.
Okay.
It's most of my dating is like it's anything but what I am, you know?
Got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Sounds like a guy with the Asian fetish.
Well, tell us about
well,
your...
well, here's the thing. You know what it is? I'm so Americanized
Uh-huh.
that I'm like kind of a man without it. I feel more like like kinship with Americans, but it's like uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me because I'm not like an off the boat immigrant. You know, I'm first generation American. I pretty much grew up in America.
Yeah.
So it's I kind of feel a little bit out of place. I'm like they're way more, when I'm with a Russian or Ukrainian, I'm like this doesn't. I feel a little bit, even though this is my background, I feel a little uncomfortable.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Because you feel like you're not earning the space to stay there.
No, because my father deeply traumatized me, and I don't like being reminded. You know. No, I think that is pretty true, but it's I kind of feel guilty in a weird way too because I'm like this is so much like my family, and I'm like, if I'm spending time with them, why am I not spending time with my family?
Right.
You know, I start feeling guilty. It reminds me that my family exists.
You want to diversify.
I don't want to be
your
reminded that my
feelings.
family exists.
Yeah, I see.
You know, yeah.
That's dark, man. That's pretty dark.
I love my family though.
Tell us about. So I looked you up on Instagram.
I just
no,
don't
you
want
really
to.
feel-
And
I just don't want to know
it's
they exist. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Do
true,
you understand what I'm
fair.
saying? No, I'm kidding. I love everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, so I looked you up on Instagram, and it said something that you had a sex podcast.
I had a sex podcast.
Disgusting.
It was disgusting. It
I
was
don't like
with
that at all.
with Sydney Washington. Then I had
Who is that?
Tracy
Is that a porn star?
No, Sydney's a comic.
So you were discussing
She's from
sex
Comedy Central now.
with a comedian?
We'd have a whole bunch of comics. The original concept was this is like I think about 10 years ago. We'd get like a variety of sexual orientations and do like a panel show, but it would be live and it'd be interactive with the audience. So
This is a second guy to tell us about this interactive live podcasting. Is this a trend?
I may have
now?
been one of the first.
Yeah.
I may have been one of the first. Yeah, this is like years ago. So the Museum of Sex, and then
Alan
they-
Wilczek.
You did it
they
at the
wanted
Museum
rent.
of
The
Sex.
Museum of Sex, and
Do you
then
know-
they
do you know the
wanted us to pay
Wilczeks?
rent. Sounds familiar.
own it.
Yeah.
They started. His
They
mom
started it?
Yeah.
All right. I wish I'd known you back then because they kept like changing management, and that messed us up. And then
Yeah,
they
there's one
wanted
in
us to
Manhattan
pay-
and there's one in Miami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted us to pay rent, and then the amount of money they wanted was insane. And we're like, well, we're bringing you business. We're
Right.
bringing you customers, bringing you views on social media platforms. We get like big.
They should be
you know,
paying you.
Yeah, we're getting like big, like adult, like film,
Right.
like porn. Everybody. Yeah. you
You're
know?
marketing for them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that was going to be the plan, and then they got a new crop of management. They wanted us to pay like an exorbitant amount of rent, and I was like, oh, this is insane. We can't.
Right.
This is more than I pay for my apartment. You know.
Yeah.
So then we went to Rick's Cabaret. We did it in the champagne room over there, and then it just got like. I like doing it, but we didn't like really talk so much about sex. I started doing it with, I don't know if you know Keanu Thompson.
Keanu Reeves.
No, Thompson, but whatever.
No.
She also directed
Keanu is
Spider-Man. No,
Did she?
I'm just saying I know her.
she directed Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. No, she's a sweetheart, and she co-hosted with me for a while, and then I just kind of, it is. It's like, all right, you talk about sex, but you want to talk about other stuff too.
right.
I'm not just like, and like the older you get, you're like, after a while, you're like, do I want to put my business out there, and like, do I want to kind of,
I'm never comfortable.
get
talking
like
about
into nitty gritty stuff, and
I never talk about my own sexual experience.
And look at me, I see how I look. No one wants to hear about my sex life.
Actually, to be honest, though, in the footage, you look great.
What footage?
Right here,
Right here?
this is what's
Really?
being recorded. You see the screen?
So pale.
Right there. Oh,
So
well,
fucking
yeah,
pale.
that's not my fucking fault.
That's the lighting.
yeah. That's not the lighting. Alan is really transparent.
It's the winter in New York City. There's
Yeah.
no sun.
There's
Yeah.
no sun.
We're all
I don't
pale.
leave home either.
Well, I hide from the sun. I'm not a sun guy.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't like the sun.
Case number 2.
Yeah. Well, no. Here,
In the argument in favor.
First, it makes my skin sizzle.
Oh, that
but
he's a
Being
also,
vampire?
Yes.
I'm also not a fan of holy water. But no, I just like I want to like delay like sunspots and wrinkles and skin cancer and all those problems.
That's
know?
very Hebrew.
Yeah. I'm just my grandfather had cancer. My dad had cancer. It's just like I don't want to deal with it. I have enough problems.
Do you have any stomach problems?
Wait, because because what?
No,
you can say it. What? Because I'm a what?
You mentioned that you have some tendencies to be ill.
To be Jewish?
Some
Jewish tendencies?
Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps.
You
Just so
son of a
happens.
bitch.
Because I relate to the Jews because I also have a bad stomach.
You know what? I had a feeling.
We're making him an honorary Jew because of his stomach problems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm starting to feel like? I'm starting to feel like I'm Zelensky walking into a meeting with Trump and JD Vance. I feel like
Who's Vance and who's Trump?
You're definitely Trump.
No, you're Trump.
I'm Trump?
I'm Vance.
I feel like pretty much.
I
like,
was so
excuse-
lucky.
I feel like in a minute you're gonna be like, Alan, you fucking Jew. You don't hold any cards. You don't hold any cards. We have the cards.
So what's going on? Are you still doing stand-up as well?
Yeah, man. I'm doing
All right,
a
cool,
shit ton
nice.
of stand-up. Yeah.
Are you doing some
I'm
tonight?
all
You
over.
have any,
I'm doing
shows
some tonight. I'm
Cool.
I'm gonna be at Yuck Yucks in Oshawa in about a week.
Where's
Come out in
Oshawa?
Oshawa in Toronto.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Canada.
Canada.
Nice.
Yep. And I got a show April 11th at the Loft in Keyport, New Jersey. Me,
Yeah.
Charles McBee, Gray West. Gonna be a killer show.
Sick.
Come on out. It's gonna be fun.
Is it really gonna
Got
be
any more
fun?
Jew questions?
Is it really gonna be fun?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
Why? What can you do to guarantee that it'll
You
be
know what's
fun?
crazy? I think we've only seen each other do stand up
Mhm.
at that place. I don't want to say the name of the place.
Oh yeah.
And because I
Why do you
really-
wanna promote it?
Well, I love the guy who runs it.
Okay.
He's a sweetheart.
All right.
But I do want to talk a little shit. The show, the
I know what you're talking about.
well,
yeah.
it's not his fault.
Yeah.
You know, in fairness.
Yeah.
The way it's like set up.
Yeah.
Is not.
It's the only way for it to be as sustainable as it is.
Yeah.
Which you have to give it credit for that. Like it keeps running. It's like a steam engine.
Yeah. So like
Where is it?
it's
Is it in the
Queens.
city?
It's in
Okay, I know what you're
Queens.
talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so this. Let me just say this. I'll say the positive first. The last time we did it was very good, very nice. The first time I did it, I saw you there. I think the first time we saw each other doing stand up. I think we met
in
each
a
other
long
before.
time. Yeah,
Maybe
we
through
met each other
Surah.
at Broadway or Surah or
Yeah,
someone. Yeah,
got
yeah.
a mutual friend, Surah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was such a shit show, and even he would admit it. Like it was such a disaster. Remember with the sorority girls?
Oh
and-
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was a fun night because you got so mad.
Well, that
you
was
were
like
so mad. He
What
was
happened?
so mad, dude.
He
I
got mad
remember-
at somebody in the audience.
Yeah, and I was just like, Alan, no, you were so chill, bro. Like, don't be so mad.
Were you
You know-
attacking one of the people?
You know
in the
what
crowd?
happens? I feel like Mario when he gets the star and he's invincible. He just
Right.
run through all the flames
Yeah.
and all the weapons. Like I feel invincible as soon as I get my hand on a microphone, and I'm like, I'm not invincible. Like they could kill me.
Right.
But I just start spouting off about
What did you say?
I mean, I started really like I. Do you
It was a
remember-
bunch of
Do you
young
remember
women?
this? Do you remember what I said?
Yeah. Yo, that
What'd he
was
say,
wild.
Christos?
Yo,
Speak into the microphone.
he said some fucked up. He probably remembers what he said.
What'd you say?
It was encouraging them to give up on life and telling them that like hell is coming and they're not. It's not going to work out for them. This is going to be the peak of their existence.
Okay.
And to prepare themselves for probably like a nuclear holocaust that will leave everyone they know dead and themselves brutally disfigured, where they'll be begging for death. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, first of
It
all,
was-
that delivery is very funny. Unfortunately, the way he delivered it at that night was like a fucking cuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me?
What do you mean? Oh, because I was screaming?
You were kind of like you were. It would have been at a certain point you got actually mad.
That was all fake.
Really?
Yeah, it was all fake. I wasn't really mad.
You weren't mad at all?
No.
That
I
was
really,
impressive
that
acting.
was all fake.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to have a fun meltdown on stage and see what happens and see how far you can push it.
Like, look me in the
I
eyes.
literally was just trying to say crazy. Here's what was going on in my head. I was literally trying to say like the worst stuff possible to them, and then just amp up the
Yeah.
craziness of it to get them to a point like, what the hell is this guy saying about us?
It was disturbing.
Maybe we should
Justin.
shut the fuck up because he won't stop and he's saying crazier and crazier.
He was
things.
saying
kept
crazy
saying-
stuff.
But
Yeah,
they
but-
kept
but
egging
so-
you on. They kept putting
No,
fuel
I mean,
to the fire.
eventually they kind of stopped, and eventually I felt like I was actually emotionally wounding them. And
Yeah.
I felt like I did my job.
They left shortly after.
Yeah.
They left
You're
shortly
welcome.
after. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was clutch.
Yeah,
that was
there you
fucking
go.
cool.
Were they the only two people in the crowd?
It wasn't two people.
No,
Fucking
it was
sorority
actually-
reunion.
You walked the whole room.
It was like
They
you
were
know,
half the room, though. They were half the room.
Why?
and
Because
they
they're
sucked.
fat.
And they were hot. No, they were all
They,
hot.
they did not. They would not shut the fuck up. They were talking so loud during the show where like you couldn't have a show.
They were likely
Yeah.
inebriated before they arrived.
There's some hot girls that hang out around there. Remember we went to that bar next door?
Yeah. That had
Yeah.
some hot girls. Yeah.
I was surprised. That's right by. I'm not going to say. Well, it's by a college with pretty girls.
Yeah. We don't. Can we just?
Not say it.
We've
I'm
already
not.
disclosed so much detail that if anyone who was there watches, they know exactly what we were talking about. So, like, did we really prevent ourselves from being doxxed here?
Oh wait, I forgot one funny moment in that show.
Yeah.
So that show that we were on went downhill so fast that a comic who went on later in the show like pissed off the owner or the manager there, and the manager just rushes the stage and grabs the microphone like it's a baton and like takes off from the comic.
Oh yeah, yes, that did
Is that
happen.
crazy?
Holy.
That it was crazy because and then I remember they were talking like oh, they're never gonna have another show here again, you know?
When they had to beg the manager to get the microphone back,
Yeah.
so they could continue doing the show.
Wow.
Fucking wild,
Dude,
man.
but apparently the guy who was on stage was saying some fucked up shit.
What was he saying though? So fucked up.
I
that
don't
they took the
know.
mic.
Yeah, that's like too much, right?
Was it our guy
No.
that was talking the shit?
No,
Or
it wasn't.
Some
It
other
was
guy?
some other guy. So he was like, I've seen him a few times. He's nice, but little weird, but nice.
A weird comedian?
Dude, I've done all sorts of crazy freaking. Have you done like some hell gigs?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like what?
100%. I did, most recently I went to a black youth college thing, right? And they were at this community college, and I went and performed for them, but mostly they were like old heads. So it was like a bunch of like old guys from Southern Carolina, right? South Carolina, and just like, oh yeah, kids today, you know, and just
Yeah.
I was like performing for them, and I'm like, let me tell you about my cum pocket, and then
Cum pocket. Ugh.
you have to know what to say to these people.
Sounds like the worst off-brand hot pocket.
Well,
Cum
that-
pocket.
I think that's
disgusting.
what makes
you
people
jizz
pro.
in a hot pocket? Is that
yeah,
the
yeah,
joke?
I hot pocket. It's
You
cum
jizz in a
pocket.
hot pocket?
No.
What's a cum pocket?
Oh, right, because you're Jewish.
It's an
I mean,
uncircumcision joke.
Uncircumcised penis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I definitely
Creates a
don't
little
relate
pocket.
to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just
I'm like badly circumcised.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a good circumcision.
How do you know what a good one is?
All the way down to the balls.
I'm constantly looking up beautiful circumcisions on Google.
Comparing it.
10 out of 10 circumcisions. You know, that's my kink.
That's
I love a good cum pocket. No, you know, my parents had it done in Belgium.
the
And
circumcision.
yeah, and I think the guy who did it
Was a waffle maker.
I think he hated Jews.
He wasn't Jewish.
And
Wow.
he was like, "This is how he gets back at them one at a time," you know.
So his job is a
wanna hear
non-Jewish
crazy?
guy.
You want to hear a crazy twisted story?
What?
This is a horror story. So I had the circumcision done like later than you're supposed to, and I don't know, it was not quality. Okay, I think it was like an off day for that guy, and my father, I remember like years later, he would tell me like, "Come to the kitchen table. I got to get your dick stitches out." So I'd whip out my dick, and he had a pin cushion with needles. He'd take out my circumcision stitch removing needle, and he'd take the stitches that were coming out.
How
of my
old
dick
were
out.
you?
I think I was like
High school?
like 18. No,
Why wouldn't a doctor be
I was like in my
removing the
30s.
stitches?
Well, he didn't feel like paying for that, I guess. Terrible copay, Obamacare. No, he would just take out, and like for a
You
long
were
time.
18 years
no, I'm
old?
kidding. I was
Oh.
like, but old enough to like respond and be like, "Okay, Dad, here's my dick with the stitches." You shouldn't
Holy
be
shit.
you should be able to speak and respond. You know, you should be like at the age where you could do that.
Right.
And still have your dad taking stitches out of your dick. I
Right.
don't think your dad should ever be taking stitches out of your dick. That's how that's my life philosophy.
Yeah, I feel like a doctor should be doing that.
Yeah, that's a medical.
That's scary.
That's a medical situation.
Yeah, you might want to have a.
Yeah.
I could see like maybe taking out your own stitches out of your ankle, but your kid's penis, you might want to.
I'm basically
medical
I'm
advice.
Dracula from here to here. I'm a werewolf from here to here, and I'm Frankenstein from here to here. I'm like every fucking. It's the worst combination of monsters.
What are you scarred? Or
You do
what makes a bad circumcision?
That's not going to be in my act tonight.
Did they take off too much? Like what do you mean by a bad circumcision?
No, they didn't take it. They just they didn't. It felt like a rush job, or maybe like
it's not perfectly symmetric, or
or
something.
maybe they
or-
just like let me out early. You know,
Okay.
maybe like the guy just got tired and he's like, "It's enough already,"
Okay.
and they sent me out, and that was it. I just had and then stitches were just coming out for a while.
Do you know that joke that's like, what do you call a bad circumcision?
What?
A ripoff.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
that's good. That's pretty good.
That's really good. I like that.
Natalie DeChico. She'll be here
I
all
didn't.
week.
I didn't invent
Don't
invent
forget
it.
to tip your waitresses.
I was told it.
Street jokes are fucking cool.
They are cool,
okay.
yeah.
Would you have a good street joke?
I got one street joke that I
Okay.
told at a frat party, because I remember like I was telling this girl, she's like, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "Well, like I'm thinking about maybe comedy. I've always wanted to try stand-up comedy." And she's like, "Well, tell me a joke." And I didn't know any street jokes. I've got like a really bad memory. So the only street joke that I could remember was why couldn't Helen Keller drive?
I don't know.
Because she's a woman. So she.
Hey!
That wasn't her reaction.
Tickery,
She took-
tickery,
she
tock.
took her.
Guessed it.
Yeah.
When Allan speaks, it's nonstop. When he
A
drops
c-
the cop.
A completely full solo cup of beer dumped on top of my head right after that. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that's great.
So you don't know any street jokes?
That's my street
That's
joke.
your one.
That's
Do you
it.
have a good street joke?
Yeah, you know when you were a kid and you used to blow bubbles?
Yeah.
Well, he's back in town and he's looking for you.
That's a great
Pretty
joke.
good joke.
Damn. Okay, can I give you one?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Mine's like a long old head kind of joke. There's this guy speeding on a motorcycle in the mountain. He's speeding, and there's a car ahead of him that's a Mercedes sports car that's just like also speeding. And eventually they try to get to the corners, and the Mercedes hits the motorcycle guy. And the motorcycle's fucking helmet smacks on the fucking, on the pavement, like just bouncing off of that. The guy in the Mercedes gets out and he's like, "Oh my God." And the guy in the helmet's like, "Actually, I'm miraculously okay." And the guy in the Mercedes is like, "Holy shit, this is amazing. Like, thank God that you survived this moment. We are truly blessed. There is a God. You would have been dead." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I guess you're right." He's like, "Let me get some whiskey from the back of my car, and we are going to salute to this." Goes back, gets it, hands the guy a glass of whiskey, and he's like, "Cheers to God and what he saves for us all." And the guy takes his chug, and he's like, "Hey, wait a second. You're not going to drink a shot too?" And he's like, "Oh, no. I'm waiting for the police to come." I like the old dad jokes like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't know. But anyway. Let me ask you this. You ever open Pokemon cards?
No, I've never opened a Pokemon card collection.
Judson, is it Pokemon Hour?
So Pokemon is our sponsor.
Are they
Mr.
really?
Fuchs. And
The Japanese Pokemon
Yeah, it's
only.
the Japanese brand of Pokemon. And so on each show, we have our guest open up a pack of Pokemon. And if you would be our guest and take this honor and open up a pack of Pokemon.
Eevee
Japanese brand-
Hero! Puck.
You know, there's no gum in here, right?
No, what the fuck?
You remember cards used to have gum in there.
Like baseball cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. When were you born? 1824?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm an old head.
You remember when they had gum? Okay, just show the camera what you get. And if you get a shiny, then that's the best.
Oh, there's no shiny.
No shiny?
No.
Ah,
Shinies are
damn it,
shiny.
Alan.
I
You're an
got it.
unlucky guy.
These are all in Japanese.
They're
There's
all in
no
Japanese.
English.
They're the Japanese cards from the Japanese card game, which our sponsor is the Japanese version of Pokemon.
His
Made
wife usually
Imperial
comes in
Japan.
and reads them for us.
Yeah.
All right. Here you go, man.
Thanks, bro.
There you go.
All right, let me ask you this. What do you do in your free time?
So I do a bunch of things. Like I work with people, you have like with autism, like addicts, and I help them kind of get more functional. And if they need to get sober, I help them get sober. People with autism, I help them become, just help them with their activities of daily living, become more independent.
Did you ever think of making the people who are addicts, making them autistic?
I think that's pretty much all of comedy. it's alcoholic
It's true.
autistics. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a wild time right now. I feel like people are suffering from more mental illness, or maybe like I'm just seeing more of it, you know. But yeah, I feel like just mental illness is everywhere, and addictions are everywhere. Like, dude, I went to do a show last night in the West Village. I'm walking past. It's a nice, really nice area. The houses are expensive as hell. It's anywhere, but that particular area, they're really, really expensive, nice houses. And this guy was in the stairwell. A security guard comes by. He's like, "You got to get out of here." And he's like, and the security guard's like, "Wow, like a crack pipe and a heroin needle, really?" Yeah, the guy had both. Just
Don't
like,
people do that all the
you know,
time?
He's given
Both?
his job.
Crack pipe and heroin needle? Don't they do both? all the
Usually,
time?
like they'll speedball, like they'll combine cocaine and heroin together. So
That's what I thought.
that was
yeah.
creative. I mean, that was
Yeah.
definitely, at least he's like going about his drug addiction in like a comprehensive manner. Like he's
Yeah.
including everything. He's going from heroin, crack. I would have been really impressed if he had like a beer with him too.
Yeah, that's probably the only way to survive. Like, you can't just be addicted to one. You have to be addicted to all.
yeah. I don't know, man. It's getting rough out there.
You think
know?
it's like noticeably worse?
Yeah, well, also, like, services are going down, right? They're cutting funding to mental health services when they actually should be increasing funding. And you have a lot of people who refuse treatment, you know? So, and a lot of people who aren't on their meds. Like in Florida, like, every state is different with, an example of like, involuntary holds, right? So, yeah, I have to look it up, but, like, I think in Florida it's much easier to force someone.
It's called a Baker Act.
Yeah,
So
they could
we
force
Baker
someone to
Act
be
it's a
institutionalized.
72-hour hold.
72-hour hold. Yeah, exactly. So in
What is
Florida,
that for?
Florida you could do it.
Yeah, I was in
In New
emergency.
York, it's much tougher.
I was in an emergency position in Florida for about a long time.
Yeah,
I've probably filled out. I filled out a lot of Baker Acts.
yeah. So you probably saw, like, in the ER, right? A lot of those cases, they're not like, a lot of them are because of, like, addiction, right? And mental health problems.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, there's a Marchman Act. You're really supposed to fill out a Marchman Act if it's secondary to a substance, but if it's a Baker Act usually is supposed to be psychiatric. But essentially, you know, a lot of people, you're correct, they're dual diagnosis. So a lot of people are self-medicated who, you know, they might have some suicidal ideation, homicidal ideation. And so we obviously have to protect them from themselves or protect other people from them. And so we put them on a 72-hour hold. Our job is to determine whether there's actually a medical component to it. So we'll take like blood, urine, chest x-ray to make sure that they don't have like something that's causing them medically to be cuckoo, because that'll happen a lot too. Like, you know, we'll clear a patient, they'll end up in the psychiatric ward, and it turns out they've got tuberculosis in their brain or something like that. And they're like, you know, mad for that.
What percentage were people that you saw in the ER homeless, and what percentage were people like who stuck stuff up their assholes?
It depends where I was. So here, like in the East Village, there was a lot of stuff up people's assholes, a lot of like genital stuff. Whereas in Florida, actually not as there's actually I did my residency here in New York City, so lots of homeless, lots of drugs, lots of like kinky sex shit. In Florida, man, it depended where I was in Florida, because I worked at so many different places in Florida. I worked in like the nicest of the nice places, and I worked in the bottom of the basement. So, I mean, I would see some of the most horrible things in Florida, because Florida is actually, you know, they say it's like the penis of our country. It just attracts the worst people. So wherever the worst people are in the country, they will end up having this magnet towards Florida, and they'll come down there, and they all will end up in the ER, because they'll all end up doing something really bad, and it will precipitate a visit to me, and then
Damn.
I got to deal with them.
Have you ever been to the ER?
Yeah. So
Was it sexual?
No.
No.
No, I passed out, man. I was breaking up with my girlfriend at the time, and this is like years ago. And in the middle of it, I was like telling her like, "Oh, you want to have children? You want to get married? I'm not ready. I don't want to like waste your time." And like it was sort of like moving towards like telling her like we should break up, and I'm like, can we just pause that for a second? I got to use your bathroom. And I went to the bathroom. I was like so stressed out about this breakup that I had like a vasovagal reaction, and I passed out. And the doctors told me I was lucky to be alive because the way I hit my head on the side of the bathtub, I broke my nose, my teeth, and
Could
everything.
have broken your neck.
Yeah, and I woke up in a pool of my own blood.
Whoa.
And my girlfriend like walked in. She's like, "Oh my God, what happened? What's going on?"
You're like, you hit me.
"Yeah."
Oh shit.
I'm trying to make some cash to pay for this fucked up circumcision.
Dude, I passed out on a toilet in Indonesia and woke up. I was in the middle of the jungle at some surf camp, and I had to sew my face up. I had like a huge laceration in my chin. I'm sorry to interrupt your story, but continue.
So we went. It was like really uncomfortable because this person I was just about to break up with had to drive me to the hospital.
Oh yeah, so now she's like the hero. So you're
Yeah.
an asshole.
And
to
now
break up with her.
I'm like I can't break up with her.
Right.
Like, how am I gonna?
How long did you stay with her after?
And then like she brought me back and she was like nursing me back to health. She's making me like porridge because I couldn't like eat my teeth and everything.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my
shit.
God, now I definitely can't break up with her.
That's so
for,
bad.
For 2 weeks.
You waited 2 weeks?
And then I broke up with her.
After 2 weeks?
Something like that, yeah. She was a sweetheart. I feel
Wow.
terrible. She was
Yeah,
like,
she sounds like
she
she was a good girl.
really, really good person.
How
Yeah,
did she
really good
react?
person. I mean, who reacts well to a breakup? Nobody. you
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
You know.
Well, hey, at least she broke up.
Well, in
With
fairness, I did have like torn feelings. I was like conflicted. You
Yeah.
know, I wasn't just like she's making me porridge. I could do that myself. You know, it's just like I am conflicted. I'm like, she seems like a good person. She really stepped up when I needed her help. Maybe I shouldn't break up with her. You know.
Well, I made a rule for myself. For every 3 good things someone does for me or does to me or I see that they do for somebody else and like it makes me admire them more, for every 3 things, I allow 1 bad. And then I start the cycle over. And if you are constantly
too
just
much
letting
bad.
me down, what?
That's too much bad.
Yeah, but you have to forgive people sometimes because a lot of times they don't even know your frame of reference in that moment that they hurt you.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even process thinking about you and your feelings.
I've only dated like one person who was terrible. Everyone
Yeah.
else is really, really nice. So
Did you hear about this Macron thing? Did you see this documentary about?
Oh, his wife
wife?
is his
Is
They're
older.
making the accusation not only older by 20
It's
years,
his dad.
but they're claiming, or Candace Owens has this documentary out
Fuck
where
Candace
she's
Owens.
claiming that she is that Macron's wife is a man.
They always say that. That's like their attack. Michelle Obama's a man. They're always,
Why do they do that? Is it that there are so
Who's
many?
they, by
because
the
they're
way?
children. They know like childish fucking insults work the best. No one wants to hear about policy. No one wants to hear, like they respond. That's why Trump is like so effective. He knows he's got those insults that cut right through people and it
Yeah.
sticks. And people hear that, and then that's what they pass along at work or with their buddies at the bar. They're like, did you hear? He called
You
him
don't
Sleepy
have the
Joe.
cards.
Yeah, you didn't have the
Not
cards.
me. Oh, we got a
Oh,
call
got a
in.
caller. All
Let's
right.
go. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Doc Jud call-in consultation hour of the Close the Door Behind You show, where we will have you speak to Doc Jud and get free medical advice while we commentate and you authorize because of your relinquishment of HIPAA compliance due to you calling into a public show. I cannot stress that enough. Thank you. Over to Doc Jud.
Sponsored by Pokemon, so you know you're getting quality medical advice.
It's Japanese Pokemon. But
Japanese
hey,
Pokemon.
caller, welcome. I'm Dr. Judd. How can I help you?
We can't hear your caller.
Oh well. You guys have any medical problems?
Well, they
she
can
died.
probably hear us.
They're here. I'm trying to figure out why they're not coming through.
They can hear us. We can't.
How
hear
are you
them.
feeling today?
Me, I'm okay. My
you
stomach
look
hurt
good.
today.
It does. When does it not hurt?
Yeah, that's true. But
Every
you thought
day.
you
Do
think
you
I
hear
look
us?
good today?
What's that? Yeah, you look great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I like your chain. You know, I liked how you're wearing the headphones, the wire sticking out of your face like a unicorn horn.
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool.
Are you being
um,
sarcastic?
No, not at all.
Caller, you hear us?
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
goodness.
I'm
Did,
in.
did you hear everything we said?
Sorry for that. We didn't have a connection. I'm Dr. Jud. How can I help you?
Oh, no, that's okay. Thanks so much. I don't mean to bother you guys. My name's George. I'm over in Seacrest, New Jersey. I've been using Clorox bleach on my asshole for the last 14 years. It's been all right. It's helped clear out the itchiness and make sure that I don't got too much ugliness down there. But it's been bad recently. I've been starting to get a bunch of breakouts. I was wondering, Judd, if you could help me out and fix that.
So you're having hemorrhoids. Okay. So you've been using Clorox on your anus. Why were you using Clorox on your anus? Are you trying to bleach your anus, the color? Are you just trying to clean with Clorox?
My wife told me that if you use the Clorox bleach, it's gonna 99% of the germs are gone. You know what I mean? And that toilet paper, I'm not
guy's
gonna
married.
just use toilet paper.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised by that too.
Do you ever work in a BJ's and have an emotional affair?
So, usually Clorox is pretty strong. Does it ever like burn? Do you mix it with water and dilute it and then wipe your butt, or do you actually use Clorox straight out of the bottle?
Dr. Judson, I was telling you that I pour a little bit of the water one, the one that's under the sink. You know, the one you take the cap off and you just pour a little bit of it on. Yes, I've been pouring that on the toilet paper.
Huh.
Because it clarifies. You know what I mean? It clarifies.
It's not burning your skin.
germification.
It's not burning your skin.
That's a high concentration. You got to dilute it.
Yeah.
So you're clean. That's definitely, we've established that. But so what's the issue now?
I'm pooping blood, Dr. Judson. I'm pooping
gotcha.
blood. It's all blood.
That's
I don't know
what I figured.
what to do about it.
No, so I'll tell you exactly what you got to do about it. You got to stop wiping your butt with Clorox.
Yeah,
Because what's happening is you're making the mucosa on your anus burnt, and
What am I
therefore
supposed to do about the germs, Dr. Judd? There's germs in the poop. You know what I mean?
Have you tried drinking it? I recommend
Yo, you
you
can't.
want me to drink?
pour a nice cold pint.
No, you can't actually give. This is a consultation. You
All
can't
right, yeah,
give him
don't- all right,
advice to.
fine, yeah, don't.
Yeah, don't.
Okay,
I'm
do
not a
that.
trained doctor.
he
You're
can
telling
give
me to
bad
drink
advice.
the bleach.
I can't give
Don't
bad
I'm
listen
advice.
to
more than happy to drink the bleach if you need me to drink the bleach.
This guy sounds like he might drink the bleach. That's what I'm.
Yeah, don't
worried
drink the
about.
bleach. Don't drink the bleach.
Have you ever heard of dude wipes? They're a little
Yeah.
bit mellower. It's like it's a wipe. It's not going to be as caustic to your anus, and it'll get the job done. You'll be clean, and it won't tear the ass out of your ass and make you bleed.
Doctor, could you? It's way easier for me to just take a little bit of the chlorine and put it on the Charmin. You know what I mean? You put it on the Charmin, it's 1, 2, 3 wipe. If I gotta go in, you said, well, what
Yeah,
you
but
call
dude,
it?
you
A
gotta
dude-
use
a
so
dude
much
wipe? Where
Charmin.
am I gonna get that?
Like Charmin falls apart. It's too flimsy for that.
You can order them on Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Is
I mean,
Amazon
I
one
can
of
feel
our?
my
No, they're not.
heartbeat in my asshole,
Does
Dr.
Pokemon,
Judson. I can feel my
sell ass
heartbeat
wipes?
in my asshole.
Wait, what did he say about his asshole?
I thought I could feel my heartbeat in my asshole. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. He's got a lot of inflammation down there. The vessels down there, he could actually feel them because they're so that cleaning agent is so
All right,
caustic.
Dr. Judson. Well, this wasn't very helpful. I'm going to keep using the chlorine. I hope you have an amazing day. But, I mean, it's just the blood. The blood is a little bit of annoying, but, it's cleaning my asshole. So I hope you have an amazing day, and I love you.
Get some hemorrhoid cream.
That was a really
Maybe
good
some
plug.
preparation H. Get the
He hung
ointment.
up.
That's a good
He
plug
hung
for
up.
Clorox.
And use dude wipes. We have to check with our Japanese sponsor, Pokemon, to see if they make wipes as well, because I think that we might be able to help them distribute.
wipe.
How can I like that?
Thanks.
How would you say that in Japanese?
Wipe.
What he said. Thanks, caller. Thanks for calling in. All right, so where were we, Mr. Fuks? We weren't talking about.
Oh yeah, so I passed out, and so I still have a scar on my nose because if anything ever happens to you, like demand to see the plastic surgeon. Don't let anyone just work on you at the hospital. I think they just sent like whoever.
Well, this is what happens.
it
Everybody
messed
wants a
up my-
plastic surgeon, but then when you call the plastic surgeon as the ER doctor, the plastic surgeon says that they're not coming in, and if they do come in, they're going to give you a separate bill.
Oh.
And then nobody ever wants it. And literally, I in Miami when I used to work there, the plastic surgeon used to show up with a credit card machine.
Wow.
I go, I'm just letting you know, it's X amount of thousands of dollars, and you're paying right now.
Wow.
Yeah, so because there's nothing like because the emergency is just to fix the laceration. It's not to get a plastics closure. Let me see. It looks pretty good though. I can't see any.
Yeah.
Can I see?
You're probably the
I
only
had
one that can see
perfect
it.
nose
Can
before
I
this.
see it? Oh yeah, disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Why are you alive?
I don't know. Struggling to find meaning in my life.
If you had a better nose than this is a pretty good nose.
No, this is really
You
good.
got a great nose,
Thank
dude.
you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Honestly, I thought your most striking feature were your eyes,
Yeah.
but it's actually your nose.
Really?
I sewed my own
You're a
face
nose
up
guy.
in the mirror. It's really difficult
We
to
can
do
see
because
it.
it's like upside down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the mirror because
You
you're
could tell.
sitting upside down.
Yeah, because it's like you go, and then you're like, which what? Yeah, it was really difficult to do.
Damn.
It didn't work out very well.
Looks kind of cool though.
Now, it didn't look very cool back then.
Oh really?
And then I split it back open another time. I was surfing in Mexico and hit a rock. So that was cool.
Does your skin when it forms a scar is it like thinner there?
It's just sensitive. I think they left a stitch in actually.
Really?
Yeah, so sometimes like when I do jujitsu and I like plant my like head to do so like tripod and stuff, like I could feel it.
Why do
Hurts.
scars itch?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Scars itch. That's the
Yeah.
problem with scars.
I mean, I guess it's just that it's inflammatory tissue and they just, I guess inflammation itches.
Yeah. Do you know about proctalgia fugax?
I know Fugax.
Yeah. So that's what happened to me. They told me I had proctalgia fugax at an incident, a proctalgia fugax incident. So this, I guess, this is Jewy,
Mhm.
where my gastrointestinal system
Uh-huh.
just had a short circuit, and it was so stressful for me that like it made me feel like a Mack truck was trying to come through my asshole.
Okay.
Like it made me feel like I was pouring bleach on my asshole,
Hmm.
and it was and the intensity of that pain
Made you
me
pass out?
pass out.
I've never heard about that, but
Yeah, that's what I had.
maybe a ghost was raping you.
Kind of felt like that.
That's
yeah, with a huge
crazy.
cock.
That's crazy. Would
That's
you
what I
rather
felt like.
have a vampire as a roommate or a ghost?
A ghost,
Why?
because space is a commodity here. It's
I
very
agree.
precious.
Yeah, that's
So
a
like
good
I
answer.
have
good
more
point.
space. So you can put more shit in my apartment.
Hmm.
It's already. If I can't take it, man. How do you have a roommate?
Yeah, I have a wife.
A wife? Oh, you're married.
Yeah,
Oh wow, good for you, man.
thanks, dude.
He's about to
Nice.
have another roommate too.
You live in
Yeah.
Queens?
Yeah,
She's pregnant?
yeah.
Oh, congratulations, dude.
When I find the son of a bitch who did it, I'll kill him. Yeah.
Good for you, man.
I don't know why I only say that every time. So it's because it's so weird for me to process. So like,
Yeah.
when people say like "good for you," like "thank you," I'm like, you don't know. Inside is a battle zone. I don't understand
Wow.
anything that's happening, bro. The stuff you need for a kid is insane.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's like they don't want you to procreate, bro. It's
Wow.
like the government or the proverbial they don't want you to procreate.
Are you worried about the world you're bringing this kid into?
100%.
Yeah.
But I'm excited because he'll be half Japanese, so he'll get to have cool Japanese hair.
Oh, wow.
I could get him really sick haircuts and it will look normal. But like if you're a little white kid and you got like, you know, some of these like Japanese style haircuts, looks ridiculous, dude. But a little half Japanese kid with fucking cool Japanese hair, yo, and his hair's gonna be thick, hopefully. Yo, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, he's going to be like the hairiest Asian ever.
Oh yeah, dude, imagine.
Swarthy
He's-
Asian.
He's like, Dad, I just want to be a linebacker.
What if he comes out just looking just straight Greek, like not even a hint of Japanese?
Dude, that would be hilarious.
Or he's just gonna be like, "What happened?"
I'm just gonna have like better sketches, honestly, if the kid looks like me, because then I'll like pretend that my wife is a different character each time.
But you do Japanese jokes.
Yeah.
No one can touch you for that. You
Oh
know?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
they could go fuck themselves.
Is your wife like off the boat Japanese? Like she speaks
Not only
Japanese?
she
and-
never even went on the boat. I went there and got her.
You met her in Japan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you go there?
I was working in a co-op, and then I was studying. Like I did this independent study with this really cool professor, and she like taught me all about Japanese culture and books. It was just me and her, she had me read like 3 books a week. So I was on the train, and then I had like a Japanese art class where I had the best art teacher I ever had. He taught me like, I was always good at drawing, and then he taught me how to be like great at drawing with like something that I never realized and never thought about. And like, dude, I love that guy. He really inspired me. But yeah, in the meantime, I was working at a tech company in Japan, and that was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you guys fell in love, and she came back here to America.
We fell in love, but she wasn't working with me. She was in another world. She was like in design and fashion, and she was working for this like very expensive fashion boutique as like a stylist and like customer support person. So we met out and about.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
So did
Good for you, bro.
did she move back to Did she move from Japan to the United States once you proposed or before proposing?
Before proposing. Yeah, before proposing.
So how long were you together before you proposed?
5 years before I proposed. Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, I ain't no fucking simp, bro.
5
Yo,
years.
if you propose after just 1 year, you're a fucking idiot.
Wow.
If you propose after 2 years, you're pretty confident in your decision-making skills. You propose after 3 years, you're a good guy, you understood it's time, and you're going to execute on the promises that you guaranteed each other. 4 years, yo, the pocket's in your bag. You're a fucking G. You know what's up. You waited your time. This is a research decision. You've moved in together. Everything's okay. 5 years, you the motherfucking shogun, dog. That's when I did it. I recommend every single person, man or woman, date someone for 5 years before marrying them because you learn a lot about each other at that time. And shit gets weird. Does that make sense?
Are you the only white guy she's ever hooked up with?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, thank God.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. What about
How's
you?
her English?
Her English is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like-
But I speak Japanese to her. We speak English to each other. It's good.
Wow. Did you have problems with her getting citizenship?
Not really. No.
No.
Yeah, I'm an affluent white male who's never done any criminal acts in his life.
You're affluent.
I mean, but by like society's standards, yes.
That's real? That's
These are
real
all
gold?
real. Yeah,
That's
these are all
gold?
real.
Wow,
Yeah.
good for you,
But
man.
I'm talking about like statistically affluent, not New York City affluent.
Yeah.
Yeah, like statistically. But yeah.
What's on your watch? Is that Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, this is Mickey Mouse. This is the do you know Emperor Hirohito?
Yeah.
So Emperor Hirohito, who led Japan during World War II, right? He was buried with this watch. This was his favorite watch, the Mickey Mouse Seiko watch. It's like you could see how the shape and everything is like really old style. So my brother got this for me for
You
my
really like
wedding.
Japanese stuff.
Well, my wedding was in Japan.
Anime. Oh, you got married in Japan.
Yeah. So
Wow.
this was a very fitting joke, and first of all, I rooted for Japan in World War II.
Nice.
When I go into the history books, I'm like, well, America wasn't letting Japan get oil. and that's why that whole thing spawned. You know
So
that, right?
That's your hot take?
Well, if we're being honest here, we did violate them at the end.
I mean, yeah, but
We
you know,
straight up, they were the first and last.
You know about
people.
Pearl Harbor, right?
Yeah,
You
I know, but
Okay.
Pearl Harbor, first of all, America didn't even have its top like planes and ships over there. They were actually like away at the time. There weren't that many people killed.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was an unprompted attack that brought the U.S. into the war. But the U.S. had already established clear favoritism of the NATO forces prior to joining the war, and they were putting all these kind of restrictions on Japan for their oil and stuff to get it.
Old white guy's gonna love this part of the show.
Yeah.
World
Speaking
War
of which,
II talk, baby.
We're gonna hit the lightning round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lightning round.
Oh, really quick. What's interesting about Pearl Harbor is
Huh.
that wasn't the only place they attacked. They attacked other countries, but they couldn't sell it to America. FDR had all these meetings. They were like, it's got to be something like America knows that, Americans didn't know about our other, U.S. territories overseas because they attacked the Philippines. They attacked a bunch of places.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, you have to just focus just on Pearl Harbor. Don't mention the other places. And then you could sell the war.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go. I just made a lot of middle-aged men hard.
That's
There you go.
crazy.
That's World War II fact.
War
World War II fun fact,
propaganda
baby.
right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not ill intent, but it's propaganda. That's crazy. All right, lightning round.
So first question of the lightning round, Mr. Fuks.
sir.
You get arrested. They give you one phone call. Who are you calling?
Arrested where? In the United States?
Yes.
Who am I calling? You got to call your attorney, man. You got to call your lawyer.
Do you have
That's
a
a
criminal lawyer? Like,
I know a bunch
On
of
hand?
attorneys.
yeah?
Yeah, you got to call
He's
your
a
lawyer.
Jewish dude
Don't-
from New
don't-
York City. Of
Don't
course
say
he has an attorney.
anything. I mean, why would you call anybody else?
That's
insane.
so true.
It's so
Yeah.
funny. That's actually
That's
that's
great
the answer.
Crazy.
That's
That is
the
the
answer.
yeah.
Thank
It's crazy.
you.
That's not the
Thank you,
answer.
yeah. That's not-
100% of the time. I call one of my idiot, comedian friends.
Dude,
They'll
that's
be
true.
like, "What are you talking about, man?"
We can make a bit out of this. That's funny.
Yeah, they'll only answer the phone if you're offering them a spot. They're not
Okay.
gonna be like,
Second
"What?
tag.
I mean, do what for you?"
Second tag of the joke. You said in the United States or abroad. So the second question is: you get arrested abroad. Who you call?
You're also calling an attorney, man. Or I guess maybe the foreign embassy
Yeah.
to make sure they get on top of it.
How about Russia?
You
get
if
arrested
you
in
get arrested in
Russia.
Russia.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not.
You're
getting,
just
well,
dead.
you're not getting
getting
a phone
out.
call. You're
Yeah.
not getting a phone call. You're done.
Uh.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in Russia you call. Jesus Christ, I don't even know who the hell. It's gonna get out. I guess you call. You call it maybe a news site.
A news site.
Yeah, you call a news site. Maybe
They'll let you call a news site from jail in Russia.
or a loved one. You call a loved one to let them know, get the story out that I've
How
been in prison.
How about the Ukraine? If you get arrested in the Ukraine, who do you call?
Dude, I'm not going anywhere near there. I don't know why you think.
Well, I just thought it was interesting that you wanted to
here's how I know
clarify
who-
where
who-
you were when you got arrested.
Let-
So
let
I
me-
thought
let-
maybe that's where your head was going.
This is a good friendship test. When when the Ukraine war was really, I mean, still raging on. I shouldn't say when it just started, but I was actually thinking maybe I should go do film my comedy special in Ukraine. And then some comics like, yeah, you should totally go. And I'm like, yeah, you're not my friend.
Yeah, true.
I think you
Your
just want me to
ex-girlfriend's like,
die.
oh yeah, you should definitely go over there.
All my exes definitely. That's such a great idea, Alan.
Nah, you gotta.
That's
fill
the
your,
best idea you've ever had. Don't do it at the Funny Bone. Do it in a Ukraine bomb shelter.
Nah, you gotta do
Yeah.
it somewhere like Missouri. You gotta.
Nah,
go,
that's what I
middle
did it.
America. Yeah,
I
Missouri.
did it in St. Charles, Missouri, at
That's
the Funny
what
Bone.
I'm talking about.
That's where I
yeah.
did it. It was fucking awesome.
Dude, you gotta go to Middle America where
Yeah.
they'll laugh at everything you fucking say.
Yeah,
100%.
Cool.
Unless
much
you're
better
like-
than Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you're up.
All right. What's one life hack that you know about that you think more people should know?
I think everything is. I don't know if it's a life hack, but it's just knowing when to shut the fuck up. That's something I learned late in life. Is to know when to shut up.
Is that something you're saying to me right now?
No, not a.
What's an example of a time where you wish you would have taken my advice?
Here's one that is super fucking embarrassing, and it still kills me to this day. I did a podcast. I did a You Know What Dude episode. It was my worst podcast appearance ever. Worse than this, if you can imagine.
I thought we were.
No, I think we're doing
thought
great.
This was going
Am I doing
great.
it right? I think I'm doing it right.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I thought this was going
No,
great.
I'm insulting myself. I'm being self-deprecating so I could be a little more charming. I don't know. Is that
well,
working?
Your
working.
charm
Go.
is lost
Continue.
on me.
Damn it.
But anyway,
No, so I did an episode of You Know What Dude, and it was I had some dispute with some other comic, some dumb bullshit, and I went there to clear the air and give them my side of the story, and then Bill Burr is a surprise guest, and I fucked up that podcast appearance so badly, man. I just would not shut up. It's Bill Burr. It's just dude, what am I I look back, I'm what was I thinking? What is wrong with me?
you were
What?
talking more than Bill Burr.
I think it was the nervous energy, and Bill Burr is one of my favorite comics of
Right.
all time, so I think I just got I don't know what got over me.
You wanted to be so much a part of it that maybe you just
I don't know.
Bullied your
It's
way in.
normally I'm good, normally I'm
Yeah.
fine and I know when to pick my moments or whatever, and you're going to have, it's like comedy. Sometimes you're going to have great sets, sometimes, it's not going to be so great. And that was I just ruined that appearance at the end. like they're sharing great Patrice O'Neill stories, another comic, I love, and and then I'm like, they're talking about like bombing with like hell gigs, and then like that if I had any common sense back then, I'd be like, all right, don't say it, let them end there. I was like, I got a story where I bombed, and it's like, as I said, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with
You're
me?
telling Bill Burr about the story that you bombed?
I'm following up Bill Burr's Patrice O'Neill story with one of my dumb fuck stories about when I bombed at like some fucking insurance company private event. And in fairness, like I did that story on stage and it killed. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll just crowbar it into like shoehorn it into this podcast, and I tell that story, and it tanked so hard. It tanked so bad that I walked the room.
No.
Yeah, and I felt awful. I was like, fucking hell, man.
You walked the room with Bill
What is
Burr
wrong
in
with
it?
me? What is wrong? Yeah, I walked Bill Burr.
You walked Bill Burr too?
It was the most embarrassing, awful thing that you could possibly. Can you imagine that?
Stop.
Your
You did-
comedy.
Wait, they
you're
all
a
left
comedy
you after saying a bad story?
Hero, legend, and you fucking walk.
Wait, they walked out on you on stage telling
Bill
a story.
Burr's like, all right, I'm out.
Really? He
That's
said
good.
that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
How bad was your story?
I don't know, man. It was I think maybe it's like the way I told it, because like they didn't really know. This is like years ago, right? This is like years ago. They didn't really know me. They didn't know me from like a hole in the wall, So I got too comfortable. I was like, I'm one of the boys. I'm hanging out. I'll tell you my story too, But they took it as like a disrespect almost, and like they were like looking at me like with angry, like side eyes, like, really, asshole? You're gonna share your story after we just, told the Patrice O'Neill story.
Right.
Like, I didn't mean it that way. I wasn't like, I'm trying to. I really am feeling like Zelensky right now. Thank you. Did I say thank you? Thank you so much. Thank you. Please don't kill me.
Now you have the cards.
I'm
we
so-
opened the cards.
You're not grateful. You never said thank you. Look at what you're wearing.
This is what I always wear.
I always wear this. What is the problem?
Do you remember what you ate that night afterwards?
I don't know, man. It was just like trying to eat my feelings and like.
Right.
just-
So
uh,
tell
it
us,
wa-
like,
it was
what is something that
brut-
makes you feel
brutal.
better what's something that when you feel bad, what's your favorite food to eat?
Just fucking ice cream.
Okay, cool.
Ice cream and chocolate.
Where's the best place to get ice cream in
you
New York
know.
City?
There are a bunch of places. There are like in the East Village and West Village, just like little boutique shops are
You a
great.
Van Leeuwen guy?
Van Leeuwen's pretty
Van Leeuwen,
good.
I love Van Leeuwen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there are like a bunch of. There's like one across from the comic strip, which is great.
Salt and Straw is way
Yeah,
better than
Salt and
them.
Straw is really good.
Salt and
Yeah.
Straw kicks the pants out
Yeah.
of Van Leeuwen.
You ever go to that gelateria?
Van Leeuwen's
place
a
in
little
the
too
corner?
sweet.
What,
Van
Van Leeuwen?
Leeuwen's a little too sweet. Yeah.
Okay. I just like it because they do the nut, like they do the non-dairy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? That kind of stuff, makes you, I think, stronger as a comic. You process it. You're like, you fucked up. So what? Move forward.
Mhm.
Tomorrow's another day. You'll like work on your stand up, and then just be better on the podcast. And that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah. No,
like,
you were
nah.
great on the podcast. What are you talking about? Today you were good. You learned your lessons.
I learned my lesson, man.
Yeah.
Got teary-eyed and everything. I love it. Yeah. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
That was
you.
cool.
guys.
Yeah, you were a good, great guest.
Great guest.
Thank you,
Anything you want to you share your socials?
Allan Fuks on Instagram. See, now I'm just getting comfortable. Now I'm ready to like do the podcast.
What? I thought you were comfortable the whole time.
Yeah. Now I'm like more comfortable.
Oh.
So
okay.
I thought it was
feel like
like-
we trauma bonded.
yeah.
Alan
like,
Fuks.
yeah.
Allan Fuks.
Alan Fuks.
Dude, you
Meaning,
deserve
like,
to get
fuck.
bullied
You know,
for
like,
that.
Dude,
like for
I
example,
didn't lose my
like,
virginity until I was 24 years old.
But like, for
What?
example, my
Yeah.
buddy said like, this is like a younger reference. Like we went to Joe's Pizza, and I'm like, dude, I love Joe's Pizza, and he's like, yeah, Joe's Pizza fucks. Like meaning like it's
Yeah.
cool. So like
Yeah,
I
Fucks
thought
is
that
cool.
I thought that's what it meant. Like Alan Fuks.
Yeah,
like,
not when
no.
you're growing up
Like,
in
you
the
fuck.
90s.
Dude, I was in the South Bronx projects. And I looked like a little fucking anchor man.
Dude, what's crazy is
I was the least fuckable person you've ever seen in an environment with there's no chance I would have fucked,
Dude,
Like,
the crazy thing is those kids in the Bronx probably thought fucks was spelled that way. Like,
dude, I couldn't get away from it, man. It was so bad. Substitute teachers, when you like fill out the attendance sheet, I get called out because they're like, "Why would you write this?" I'm like, "It's my name. What do you mean?"
you know there's supposed to be a C.
Yeah, and then like when you like, I tried like just FUCHS for a little bit, and then
Oh.
kids would take that when you like sign in on sheets, they would just take that H and make it a K.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
that's sad.
it was rough, man. And I had plastic surgery too, so I was like a
What did
weird
you-
looking kid.
I thought those boobs were real.
Yeah, no, these I got these reduced to C cup. Nah, what do you call? I had my ears done.
Wait, let's see your ears. What did they get done?
You had them taken in.
I got them. Yeah, I got them tapered.
What do you mean tapered?
I had them. They take. It's called autoplasty, right?
Mhm.
They take the sliver out in the back. They remove cartilage, and they wrap you up like a mummy, and then your ears don't stick out anymore.
Your ears used to stick out?
They used to stick out like crazy, so they call me Dumbo Fuks.
That's
Because
awesome.
kids are perceptive.
What the hell?
They are.
Do you have a childhood photo that we could share on the pod?
Yeah, I'll send you a
All right,
photos.
thank
Yeah,
you.
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you have one that we can see now though?
You want to see now?
Yeah, dude, for sure. That's amazing.
And here's a crazy story. So then, my plastic surgeon was sued for malpractice, I believe. Shortly, like while this was going on, this woman, did a procedure on her eyes,
Mhm.
right? Because she had like saggy skin underneath. and there-
Blepharoplasty.
yeah, and he messed up the surgery to the point that she couldn't blink anymore.
No.
So this woman just walks around 24/7 like this.
Ooh.
Like this. And what's wild is her settlement was something like 20 grand.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah. I don't know who the fuck her attorney was.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
that only got her 20 grand for no longer being able to
clearly
blink.
not one of our attorneys.
Not one of our people. Not one of our people. This is why you guys should keep us alive. All right, you hear that?
Medical and
You're
law.
gonna get plastic surgery one day, and they're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna need one of us, all right? And maybe if you went to one of us, it wouldn't get fucked up in the first place.
That's
We have a
true.
purpose in society, all right?
Allan Fuks, everybody.
Please don't
Allan
kill
Fuks.
us.
Allan Fuks, everybody.
Allan Fuks, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome, man.